All right, I believe we're live. Let me check everything real quick, guys. Yep, everything's healthy. Get the chat up. All right, there we go. There we go. Oh man, I almost wanted to pause this and jump in on a short right now. Guys, it's tricky. I'm just looking at here real quick at the 15 minute. We can see your blue 10 SMA is holding up price. You know, we're sitting at a critical spot here. That's why I wanted to do this video before the daily close, but also I wanted to do it live so that you guys could see this in real time. Sometimes the loading takes a little too long and it'll be too late. So, you know, the CME gap is above, and that's making me feel like we could go a bit higher. Also, off the top, I am looking at, you know, just my horizontal levels here and a potential falling channel, basically. We had, this rising wedge, falling channel, or rising wedge, rising channel, whatever you wanted to call it, on the way up. And looks like we have put in a bit of a downtrend, falling channel here as well. But you know what? We could, fill this out and then break that up and still be bullish. So we'll take a look at what I'm seeing on the daily close at 68.72. We are actually above the 21 EMA. You know, a lot can happen in the next hour and 15 minutes. What's up, Omnipotence Norden? Thanks for joining. But, you know, looking at the 4 hour, I'm just drawing out these horizontals. 6,700 seemed to be support right here. You can see I had trouble getting above it there. Support here, you had some wicks, but they all closed back above. And here it looked like we, when we did close this candle, we did get a little bit of a drop, but not too much, mostly closing above 6,700. And directly above, I put one here. There was resistance, finally broke it and seemed to be support. Resistance here, that's at 68.20. And so on and so forth. So these are the levels if you want to screenshot that. We did, get a quick little pump up to 69.30 and then back down to 68.60. And that's where I had this horizontal drawn before I even had this wick. So, on Twitter, I shared this in my Discord group. If you are interested in the Discord group, the link is down below. It's free for the month of April for sure, so definitely check that out. Posting my charts here. You can see where I had posted this back here. And we wicked up right up to it, okay? So not a coincidence. Using horizontals, we can take a look at that. But let's move on, and we'll do our usual breakdown, guys. Welcome. This is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. This is not financial advice. These are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so trade at your own risk. I am not your financial advisor. Hit that like, comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. All right, let's roll. Bitcoin down slightly. The volume has picked back up. We're back above 1 billion, so that's good to see. Just slight losses across the board. BNB seems to be up 4%. Interesting. And Chainlink also down just a little bit. Okay, so Tether up a little bit because people are moving their crypto into Tether. And the Fear and Greed Index went back to 11. We are back and low. You can see we've been hanging out here for a while, which is interesting to see that we've been down this low considering we've had quite a rally from the bottom. So, almost like 100%, and we're still really low. Is that bullish or not? This might just be the global fear involved right here, okay? So we're keeping our eye on this guy. It doesn't usually hang out this low. You can see how it bounces usually when it gets this low. So could this mean that we're still due for further upside, or just the world is in a panic? Block halving, 28 days away. We are getting closer and closer. Less than a month. What will happen? That's what we all want to know, and I don't think anybody does know. So we're just watching level by level. Let's go to the charts, guys. We were looking at the S&P 500 as they have been correlated pretty closely. we had a symmetrical triangle during the day. It's closed for the day. It did finish the day breaking back above this and bouncing off of it as a retest. So, tomorrow, do we, open maybe up here, retesting the highs, going out to the daily? We did hit some resistance. We had this target we were looking at once we closed above the yellow 21 EMA. We were looking at this target here. Did get a little rejection and came down on the daily, but nice bounce and potential retest of this 50 EMA at 2,800 basically. I mean, with the pandemic and all businesses being shut down for over a month, and definitely another month, California is talking about, or LA is talking about till the end of May 15th at least, and they keep pushing it back. So I don't know why this keeps coming, keeps rising. The Fed, unlimited printing of money, in the short term, it's saving the stock market. In the long term, devaluing USD. So, in the long term, maybe this is Bitcoin's time to shine, but we are following the two pretty closely. So, if we get a bounce and retest, and say it wants to come up to, 2,900, maybe Bitcoin goes up to 8K, okay? And price on Bitcoin, 68.70. I kind of want to long this, the CME is right above us. Hold on one second. We do have that gap. I can't judge everything on the gaps, but they play out pretty well. You do have a fairly large gap. Oh, this gap is closed, guys. There was a mini gap here. We can just delete that one. See what I'm saying? They just get closed. I mean, even this was a huge one. And, the beginning of that candle was a drop. It looked like we're not going to fill this one. It's just going to keep going down. And then what do you know? Just come up, wick up. And then, in case you weren't sure if it was closed, we're just going to close it for real. So, we're pretty close. It's definitely a possibility. So we got to keep that on our mind. Let's go out to the daily, because that's really what I'm looking for here. A lot of mixed signals, but looking at my moving averages, this is what's pretty interesting to me. Is it looked like we were clearly going to lose the yellow 21 EMA. This is coming in around 68.60 right now. This is all planned, bruh. Yeah, they are definitely just, it looks like a major bull trap. The problem is when dump. When will it dump? That's the hard part, and every time you think it's going to dump, it just keeps on going up. I think by the time everyone, gets bullish and says, hey guys, we are on a bull market, bull run, that's when it dumps. So we could definitely, pump from here. And most importantly, like I'm saying, the yellow 21, when dump, sir? Not today, it looks like. Look at this bull wick on the daily. 68.60 is the yellow 21 EMA. Definitely thought we'd close beneath it, which would have been bearish, but look, definitely a nice bounce bull wick, and most likely going to close above it today. And your resistance is going to be at 7,042, this light blue 10 simple. You also have this dark blue. This is the 50 simple coming down, acting as resistance. You can see we couldn't get above it here, got wicked out there, and this is coming down around 71.50. It will drop probably right around here once the next daily candle closes. So, the funny thing about this coming down, it's lining up perfect with this downtrend. Hold on, let me take that away. You see how this downtrend from up here, boom, 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 is coming down right in that same region. If I throw my moving averages back on, you can see, it might be a little hard to see. This blue line is coming exactly with that downtrend. It's not uncommon to see these things line up. So basically, what I would want to see for the long is that close above the daily 21 EMA, going. And man, I kind of wish I wasn't on stream. I might want to jump back in that long. Little indecision today, okay? But I might still have an opportunity. Need to stay patient and wait for that daily. But, you get above that, you have a horizontal here. This is based on, lower time frames, a 4 hour. you want to get back above, 1 second. This is coming in around 7,020. You have another at 71.33. So you want to get above this downtrend and these horizontals to fill that gap. Now, if we can fill the gap and close above 7,400 up here, that could be, you know, the next move, the next leg up. Until then, we are putting in lower highs, high, lower high, lower lows, low, lower low, and looks like we're in that falling channel that I was describing. So, you know, the gap is here, could fill it, or like yesterday, we were thinking up here that we were going to go ahead and fill it and then got rejected by the downtrend. So you could come up and get rejected by this downtrend again. Nothing is guaranteed. You know, playing or trading Bitcoin is like sitting at a poker table sometimes, it feels like. So that's what I'm looking at on the immediate, like that's what I'm thinking about immediately. And this 1 hour looking good. I probably jumped out of my trade a little too soon. See, the 1 hour though, Stoke is pretty high here. That was my only reservation, as well as, you know, not getting that daily close. So it's all speculation. The 15-minute RSI was kind of high, but it's not overbought either, you know. And this is looks like it's flagging out on the 15-minute. I want to get back in this trade. It could pop off, guys. It could pop off. You know, look, it's flagging out here. I hate to do this on camera, but I might have to just put in a trade real quick. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to do it on my phone here. How's everybody doing? Leave some comments while I'm doing this. Leave some comments. So basically, I was looking earlier at 67.30 as a spot to put my stop. So I'm going to log in, do this, and yeah, because I mean, this is the type of stuff that I'm looking for. I just hope I can get in time. I might have to cut this short, guys, if I can't do this. I'm sorry. My phone is acting stupid, of course, when you want to get... See, this is the FOMO kicking in right now. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Okay, let's log in. You know, just trying to go with the flow. Of course, I feel bearish. You know, like the world is bearish. But if the price keeps going up, you know, what can you do but follow the trend, and the trend is your friend. 68.75. Could. Don't take off without me. And then, you know, watch, I do all this and it just dumps on me anyways. All right. Coming into the trade. Let's do this. Let's do this. You know, this is the life of a trader here, right? Why is it giving me this? Okay. Market. Yeah, I'm about to just market buy right now. So I'm buying in at 68.75 is the price on Bitstamp. And I'm going to set my stop loss at 67.30. Okay. That's going to be about a 1% risk per trade for me. Let me make sure my trade is open. All right. I got that open. Not my favorite price. Let me update the Discord group real quick. Crazy. Just entered long. Current price. I don't know. What was it? 68.80. Stop loss 67.30. All right. So it is what it is. Let's see if it takes off on camera. Why are you not doing live trading? I am. But the thing is, my computer slows down when I have the VPN up. Sometimes it doesn't, but it seems like it does. So I just had to scramble real quick right there. We're going to 6,900. I had to use my phone. So yeah, I turn the VPN off when I do the YouTube streams, which can make it difficult. And it looks like we want to pop right now. Yeah, 9K, one step at a time, guys, one step at a time. All right, so I got my trade in. I told the group. So yeah, guys, if you want these updates, go ahead. It's free for the month of April. Join right now, and let's just do the breakdown. I'll try to ignore the price. I'm not going to freak out. If we dump, I got my risk management set up, and it is what it is. I can't be flip-flopping all day long. Okay, so let's take a look at our indicators. Even this, this weekly candle is a wick down and bouncing. So, but you still have this falling volume is my issue here. The volume's falling. The price is rising. The volume is falling. So, and even with that dump yesterday, it looked pretty bearish, but after we dumped, there was no follow through. So that's why I was thinking we could have a little bit of a bounce. It's just like we're still consolidating basically. So looking at our, we had the weekly close. You have the stochastic looking like it wants to cross back up. Okay, and this is, the stochastics today are frustrating. Look at this, weekly crossing up, daily crossing down, 12-hour crossing up, 4-hour was crossing down and now hinting to cross up, which is also building, that bias for a potential long opportunity here. And then on top of that, I also see this bullish divergence. I can say this is bullish divergence. Now you see this low and a lower low on price, and then a low and a higher low on the RSI. So you have bullish divergence on the RSI. This is looking to cross back up. If I go to my 1-hour Stokes, high but not crossed down, and the RSI is not overbought yet. You do have some increasing volume here. 1 hour 58, so actually 58 minutes to the daily close, and we are above this area that I was looking at here, the 21 EMA with that bull wick. As long as we close above 68.60 in the next hour, I feel comfortable in this. Of course I can be faked out, but I still feel comfortable. And also on top of that, the 4-hour, not the moving averages, but the Bollinger Bands. I was looking for a 4-hour close on this candle here, above 68.64. You see the middle BB 68.64. So if this 4-hour can close above the middle BB and the daily closes above what the daily 21 EMA, we could at least try 70.50, the upper 4-hour BB resistance, and also probably where that downtrend is coming in. Actually, the downtrend's a little higher. It's up here at 71.28, and then you have the CME gap here. So it's looking decent. Things are lining up. You still have, with that bullish divergence on the 4-hour, you see the price is bouncing off of this trend line. So if you can, keep that support on this RSI trend line, we could continue to rise. I know I'm bouncing around all over the place, but this is a live stream. This is also different circumstances here. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff up. All right, so Bollinger Bands. On the Bollinger Band weekly, you have the resistance at 77.95, 7,800. So if we can bounce from here, you're looking at that 7,800 target using Bollinger Bands. You do still have this resistance on the Ichimoku cloud, 71.75. But you can break that. Your next resistance on the weekly Ichimoku is at 87.69. That would be crazy. And price is at 68.66. So, did I get faked out? We will see. But there's still plenty of time in this candle, and I'm pretty sure the bears and the bulls are going to be fighting for this 68.60 level. So we'll have to see who wins at the end of the day. You can't be right all of the time. So, as long as you just have minimal risk per trade, keep it consistent. That's my practice, at least. So the daily, nice bounce off the blue conversion on the Ichimoku cloud, but you do have this resistance right here with this daily cloud. The resistance level's at 69.70. So, can we break into that daily cloud and get back above it? 71.75 is the top of the cloud. And also interesting to see is, okay, so when the blue conversion line is above the yellow, you have a bullish cross, and then you had a bearish one when it crossed beneath it. And, these guys are starting to converge a little bit. Now, the blue is going flatlined, and this one's coming down. It would be nicer to see this one come up, and cross above it for a bullish daily Kumo cross. But, they're tightening up, so that could be in the cards. And then on top of that, we're sitting on top of this daily middle BB support. We didn't close below it on any of these candles. 1, 2, 3. We wicked down and now back above it, and that's at it's lower. It's at 67.70, but still maintaining the bullish zone on the Bollinger Bands on the daily. It is what it is, guys. So we could make an attempt up here. This will be coming down as resistance, though. So does this turn into a nice, like, super big play to the top side, or is this a scalp? Or do we dump and I, lose a small percentage of my portfolio? That's how it goes, right? I mean, nothing's guaranteed, so you just got to play smart, one level at a time. Let's keep going to the 12. Actually, hold on. So the daily was coming down. The daily Stoch's coming down. But you're in the neutral zone on the RSI here. So, this could just be another little bit of a dip considering the wick, and then continue higher on the RSI. That we do see falling volume, which means even that dump, that candle wasn't that significant to make me think that we're in a free fall yet. I want to see boom, whether it's to the downside or the upside, and try to catch that wave. When that does happen, I will say, if you get a real large volume spike, upside, downside, you're going to want to go down to your 15-minute. And if you look at the 15-minute now, we'll see, how long it holds. But on those strong moves, you're going to see the blue 10 simple act as support, and we still are holding support there. 68.90, still doing all right. And then, you'll see also what I see on the 15-minute during like these large volume pumps are ascending triangles. I'll see like it pumps up, and then it'll get like a rising support line with a flat line of support, and it'll be real quick. It'll be just like a couple, 3 or 4 15-minute candles, and then boom, another leg up. That's what I'm watching when they pump like that, okay? So let me keep going. We were on the 12-hour. The 12-hour Stoch wants to cross up. So, and you're going to get a 12-hour close when the daily closes. Now, so, this could cross up with that next 12-hour close. You do bounce off support here. 6666, 4 6s. But you're hitting resistance, at 69.12, the yellow 21 EMA, and your blue 10 simple coming down as well at 69.48. So, that's why it's tricky spot here. Tricky spot. Let me look at the comments real quick. How long? It's been 24 minutes. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Get a better. My VPN works really great. I never had an issue with the VPN. I've been using ExpressVPN for, I don't know, like 2 years maybe. No issues. It's just sometimes I think, I don't know. When you have TradingView up, you have like, I have all sorts of stuff up at the same time. I keep this guy up. I have this guy up. I have this one up. I often use, I don't know if you guys have seen AGGR. One second, let me see where that is. This thing here. where you can see the big sells and the big buys. It's called AGGR. Let me see if you guys can see that, just in case you're interested. You know, this can fake you out sometimes. Whoops. So there it is. You can see that there, and it's loading, but on the right side, it'll basically show you any large volume buys or sells, you know, whether it's BitMEX or Binance Futures or FTX. You know, when you start seeing 1 million, or more importantly, 5 million, $10 million buys, you're like, okay, whales are going up. So, you know, so I have all of these things up at the exact same time, so still loading. So, you know, and then on top of that, you add, like, you know, margin exchanges, BitMEX, Bybit, whatever. Anyways, VPN, I'm not the only one where VPN slows it down, right? Anyways, while no one is going long, short stacking at each level, even when we go up, feels good for a bounce. Yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's pretty easy to short squeeze people right now, because we all know that people want to short this, right? You know, I mean, the fear and greed index is super low. So that's usually good for a good short squeeze. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but we think it looks like it's going to just fall off a cliff at some point at the same time. You know, and then after breaking that rising channel, you know, it doesn't, at this point, how do you want to draw it? I mean, you could draw it a million different ways. You broke that level. I mean, you could draw this one was broken. You know, you could draw something like, you know, I've seen this. Let's see that. You know, that's broken. You know, no matter how you draw the rising wedge or channel, it looks like we broke it to the downside. But it's not an aggressive break to the downside, and it looks like a falling channel to the downside. You know, it looks like this right now. You know, it doesn't look extremely bearish when you zoom out. It just looks like we found support. You know, we were hitting resistance here. You know, resistance. We broke above it and finding support. So until we actually break, sorry, I'm getting comfortable. Until we like break all of this support here, you know, you might not get a big dump. That's what we just got to keep in mind. And you're going to see larger volume probably come in at that point too. You know, it's still declining here. All right. Let's just finish up real quick with the 4 hour. So we got 45 minutes left in this daily candle. The 4 hour is a solid 4 hour candle here, but you know, you had support. You were trading in this range, you're coming up and testing it. You can see how here you had a trading range, you came up and got rejected. Same place that you had support, you got rejected. So, you know, is it the same thing, or can we keep climbing up? I think, though, if you close above 68.62 middle BB, as well as that daily 21 EMA, that's good enough potentially for another rise. You know, they're going to fight for this level, so it could fluctuate here. Okay. Ichimoku Cloud. Ichimoku Cloud on the 4 hours hitting resistance right now, 68.72. So don't forget about your Ichimoku clouds. And we did hit the top of the cloud right here, 69.15. So we want to try to break out of this cloud, get back above this yellow baseline at 7,000, okay, to make that attempt. But it's looking good for a bounce. Otherwise, yeah, you know, high, lower high, lower high. Moving averages, trying to close this 4 hour back above this red 100 EMA, 68.49, this light blue 10 simple, 68.56. Getting rejected by your yellow 21 EMA at 68.90, but at least to close back above these guys would be a start, and then maybe we could continue. I like to place my stops below 4 hour candles, the previous 4 hour candle at least, so that's why I picked 67.30. So, you know, this looks like a healthy candle as it stands, current price, and you know, if it comes back down to this level, then that looks like, another lower high. So I'm out of my trade. That's just how I play it. And if we can continue to rise, I will follow some of my position under the 4-hour candles, and I will take some profits along the way is my usual style. 4-hour, looking for that cross up, bullish divergence. What else is there to say, guys? It's been 30 minutes. I'll take a look at the chat real quick. Looking like the shrug still. Bearish shrug. I went long without stop loss, 100% chance winning position long term. Well, yeah. If you went long on spot, Matthew, if you went long on spot, I agree. I think down the road, there's no reason price shouldn't be higher down the road. How far down the road is the question, so, hopefully you don't have everything locked up in Bitcoin. If this is just like a percentage of your capital, you can wait and you can trade and you can accumulate more Bitcoin. Even if we do come lower, you can accumulate more Bitcoin. Yeah, the hodlers, I love you guys. I'm a hodler too, because I don't trade in and out of Tether. I'm just always holding Bitcoin. I just, short to accumulate more Bitcoin. I love when I post like things on Twitter, like about trading, like tough day trading. They're faking us out. They're manipulating, comments like that. Out of nowhere, people are always like, that's why you hodl, bruh. And I'm like, guys, oh my God. I'm a trader, so I'm going to talk about trading, there was a time like 2 years ago, I thought trading was so hard, and I still think trading is so hard. I was like, you know what? I'm just better off just holding. I'm just not dealing with this stress. I should just hodl and hold, and things will be fine. But there's something about this that just keeps bringing me back every day. I mean, sometimes I have a bad trade, and I don't want to like look at Bitcoin for a day. But, a day or two goes by and I'm just like right back looking for a position. It's addicting. It's like gambling, right? All right. Zooming out, look at this. You had support here and we came up. This would also make sense for a place to get rejected, though. If we are going to top out, this is where it would make sense to top out. You have this support here, and now is resistance. So if we dump, everyone's going to look back on this in hindsight and say, well, hello, hello. But at the same time, guys, we did reclaim this level, and the 6,000s were back above this level. Maybe we did sell off hard. There was capitulation because of the pandemic and, the BitMEX liquidation engine, yada, yada, yada. But the fact that we reclaimed this level so quickly, is why people like Tone Vase are actually bullish. I'm not saying he's anybody to, I don't want to say anything actually, but what my point is he's been a bear. He's been a bear for a long time, and he's buying every dip. He said every dip. I was like, well, that's interesting to see, but we reclaimed this level pretty quick. We're back above 6K. Maybe we do continue down and, we just hold 6K. The halving is coming up pretty soon, my guys. Less than a month away. So, could we just bounce around and then after the halving continue up higher? Possibly. Who knows? Nobody knows. That's why we just do our best with risk management, use our indicators, take it slow, never go all in. I've been talking enough today. We got 40 minutes. We're above that daily 21 EMA still. So I think, this trade it's a decent setup considering, the fact that we have that wick there, CME gap above, and I have the protection of these 4-hour candles. So if this is legit, we'll continue higher. And, if this is the top, we'll come back down and could continue lower. All right, I think that's enough for me. No altcoins today. Altcoins follow Bitcoin. So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you're bullish on altcoins. You're bearish on Bitcoin, you're bearish on altcoins. All right, guys, that's enough. Thanks for watching. Hit that like one more time if you haven't, and I'll see you next time.